Hello YouTube, I hope everyone is doing absolutely fantastic. It's Califax here and I'm back with another Forex market outlook. Guys, as you guys know, the month of September is basically over and we head into the month of October. That's the last quarter of the year. I just wish everybody, really have this a very good, end of 2024. Let's make sure that we follow the plan to this last quarter. We stick to the plan, execute the same rules every single day, and that's how we stay consistent. So right here, we had a lot of news going on for the week, especially with the federal fund rates. We can see that. I know a lot of people came to me on my DM and they said that they're not understanding what's going on with, pairs such as gold, Euro USD price was just going up, even though we're on a weekly supply zone. But, as we can see, the Federal Reserve actually dropped the rate on the, federal funds rates actually. So we had a slight drop and that actually made the dollar a little bit weak. So most definitely a lot of these pairs are actually going through the roof, especially gold. Gold is just non-stop going all the way to the upside. So that was just basically some of the fundamental, aspects that, went on in this previous couple of days and weeks. And we heading, basically they just set the tone, right, for how price is going to keep going, in the long term for at least till the end of this year. So basically, let's quickly start from Euro USD. Let's look at it from the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, basically, I'm just looking at this particular price action. Price actually tapped this monthly supply zone. Once it tapped the monthly supply zone, we had this nice reaction, which was a weekly change of character. And price is just right here at the extremity of that supply zone. So my intention up to this point is to see price from this point start to push all the way down to take out the weekly previous low. So this will be the long-term low that I will be expected to see price coming to. Now this is all expectations, forecast. We don't know exactly what price is going to do. There may be able to be the price may blast through that supply zone and just continue to push up because basically the dollar is now weak. So most definitely we may see price continue to push to the upside. But as of now, let's react to what price is doing. At the moment, price just came into that last point of supply, and we can see this indecision that is going on at this particular point. So this is a weekly supply zone, was refined on the daily, so we can go straight to the 4-hour time frame. So if we look at the hourly time frame, we had a liquidation of this previous swing high. So price just ended up liquidating the previous high. And one thing very interesting that I'm seeing is that price failed to close above this previous high. So usually when you see price failing or struggling to close above with a body closure, you can tell that the bullish sentiment in the market is in depletion. Those can be the signs, right, that maybe the sellers are stepping into the markets. Now, for me, a good confirmation would be, let's go to, for example, 1-hour time frame. A good confirmation that I would love to see, so I can change my bias to sell. It would be if price came all the way down to break this previous low. If we have a change of character all the way to the downside, then my bias is going to change from bullish to bearish. But up to now, I can see the structure is relatively bullish up to this point. We can see price tried to break above, but we can see it failed right here with this nice doji candle, then came to this demand zone and is now attempting to push up. So I want to see if price is going to continue to go all the way to the upside, breaking this previous high, so that therefore we're going to have a body closure on the 4-hour later on, or if price will decide to go bearish, it would eventually have to break this low. So I'm just going to be extremely patient with Euro USD up to now. I want to see if price will continue to push all the way down to break this previous low. Once I see the break, then I'm going to change my bias from bullish to bearish. But up to now, just looking at the hourly structure, we can clearly see that the structure is still relatively bullish due to the weakness of the dollar. So far the structure is still bullish. So in order for me to sell, I need to see this low to be gone, right? I need to see price coming all the way down, breaking the previous low, and to give us that change of character, which will be the sign of bearish intention in the markets. And then I'm gonna change my bias from buys to sells. Okay, so that's it for EURUSD. Let's move to the next pair. Aussie dollar is another pair that has been hitting. I mean, it's just been pushing all the way to the upside. Once we had this indecision, I mean, right here, we just had this doji, which was a rejection of lower prices. Price just started to push all the way up. So we had some reactions right here. Just looking at from the weekly time frame. Let me just quickly go back to the monthly. I think some of you guys maybe have lost track of what's going on the monthly. But if you look at the monthly, we had a break, mitigation, second break, and mitigation of this last point of supply, and we can see price coming all the way down. So the idea basically is to see price to continue to push all the way down into this monthly previous low. So that's just the bullish outlook, the higher time frame intention. So if I go back to weekly time frame, what we can see is price had this beautiful bearish chain right here. We had a break, mitigation break, and then price actually came to this supply zone, gave this nice internal change of character, and now price just came to a supply zone right here. This, I can say, it's like one of these extreme supply zones, right? So price just tapped right here. We can see some of the reaction that it started. So my intention is to see if, my forecast is to see if price will tap here and then continue to start to drop all the way down. So this is looking for the weekly. I can drop down, for example, to 4-hour time frame, and let's analyze the structure on the hourly. Let me use the 2-hour. So just looking, for example, at the 2 hours time frame, I think we can clearly see that we had a break, then price mitigated the extreme demand zone, then continued to push up. So the structure up to now on the hourly time frame is bullish. So what I'm waiting for, I'll be monitoring this area right here. We have a lot of imbalances below, so these lows can be used as inducement for price to just take out the low, tap the demand, and then continue to push all the way up. So this is a possibility number one that I have. Another one is, let's see, for example, I would love to see, since price tapped this supply zone, I want to see if price is going to violate that previous low, creating a change of character right here. So I would love to see if price is going to create the change of character that will tell me that, okay, maybe I need to change my bias from buys to sells. So up to now, and again, due to that, the fundamental analysis that we were talking about, the Federal Fund rates actually put the dollar, it shows some weakness in dollar. So that's why price has been pushing up. So I would love to see if we're going to have a pullback. If we're going to have a change of character to the downside, or price will just come into the demand zone and continue to push up. Therefore, we can still look for buys on the lower time frame and buy as price continues to push up. Okay, so that's it for the dollar. Let's move to the next pair. So the next pair is pound. Pound also, I'm going to look at the weekly time frame. If we look, for example, at the weekly time frame, price actually tapped a supply zone. This actually is the monthly supply zone. So let me just use this part right here. This is actually the monthly supply zone. So if I go, for example, back to the monthly, I think we can clearly see the bearish intention right here is that we had this beautiful break of structure, mitigation, second break of structure, and price now just tapped that supply zone. Now this is the monthly supply zone. Let me go down, for example, to the daily time frame. So as an intraday, we can just focus mainly on the daily time frame. So if we look at the daily, we have this beautiful bullish chain right here, which was a break of structure, mitigation, second break of structure. Price just pulled back a little bit before it broke structure again. Now, because we have a ton of imbalances sitting below, there may be a possibility that price can use this low as inducement for price to come, trap a little bit, then come to this demand zone and then continue to push up or reverse to the downside. Now, for me, a good reversal that would tell me to change my bias from bullish to bearish would be enough to just see price breaking this low. So I would need to see this daily change of character to confirm that we're now going from bullish to bearish. So up to now, my bias on GU is bullish because the structure is bullish. And if I go, for example, to hourly time frame, what I can do basically is, let's say I want to sell. If I want to sell, basically it would be just to ride this bearish pullback towards this demand zone. So what I need to see first on the hourly, I can see the price actually tried to go up, but it failed because we had a failure to close above. So this can be a sign of bullish sentiment in the market in depletion. So I would need to see at least a change of character right here on the 2 hours time frame. So that's basically what I'm waiting for. I want to see if price is gonna break below this previous low, and then we can sell all the way down to the daily demand zone, but we still maintain the fact that the daily structure is still bullish, so the bias is still bullish, right? So that's it for GU. Let's move to the next. Our next pair is New Zealand dollar. Here we can just look at it from the weekly time frame. I think it's very, very clear. If anyone looks at it from the weekly, we can see that the whole idea is bearish, right? We had this break, pull back, then price came back to mitigate, and then we can clearly see this internal bearish chain that we have here, which was a break, mitigation, second break, mitigation. We have an internal change of character right here because this was a high and low. If I go, for example, to the daily, this is more visible. Right here we can clearly see we had this nice change of character. Price just came to the extremity of that supply zone. So the idea that what I want to see is there may be a possibility that price may just violate that supply zone. As up to now, that's not what price has done. Price just tapped the supply zone. So I want to see if price is going to blast through the supply zone. And for that, a good confirmation, for example, that will tell me that this supply zone is holding is if I go to 2 hours time frame. And here we are on the 2 hours. So the question would be, okay, what is the structure up to now? I think anyone can see that the structure overall is bullish. So on the hourly time frame, the structure is bullish right here. Now, price eventually will have to pull back, and the demand zone that I'm looking for is this one, because this low can be used as inducement, right? So we have this pullback and then boom, break. So one thing I can look for is on the lower time frame, I can look for sales, so I can ride this pullback towards the demand zone. Or if I just want to follow the trend, what price is showing me, I just wait for price to come into this demand zone, and then if I see the confirmation on the lower time frame, we can buy. So with the possibility of having to break above this previous high, thus violating the daily supply zone, or we will see if price eventually will come down to give us that hourly change of character, which will make us change our bias from bullish to bearish. Simple as that. So I think if we guys look at so far at the pairs that we've been doing this breakdown on, basically it's just we have to be patient, you know, for these weeks, because prices still continue to push up, although it's hitting high time frame supply zones, right? So on the hourly, on the daily, the structure may be bullish, but it's hitting supply zones on the monthly. So basically, right now, for example, on New Zealand dollar, the structure is still bullish. So what should we do? Once price comes to demand zone, we're gonna look for buys. If it ends up violating, that will tell us that okay, we need to change the buys from bullish to bearish. Simple as that. Okay, let's go to the next pair. Our next pair today is going to be a different one than usual. It's USD JPY. I know. Previously I said that I wasn't really understanding UJ price action and a couple months ago, but so far I can see the intention on UJ. If we look at what's going on, for example, we had a break of structure right here, and then price came back to mitigate this beautiful demand zone. And then we had another break of structure. This was a major break. And now price just tapped this demand zone. It's coming towards this demand zone. So I can see some sort of imbalances sitting right here below and some liquidity as well. So I'm waiting to see if price will come to this demand zone, and then we have that continuation to the upside. That's the main idea. So I'm still looking to see price coming towards this demand zone. Now, this is a weekly demand zone. What I can do now is go to 4-hour time frame, and I want to understand what is the structure telling me at this point. I can even use the 8-hour time frame for example, just to make it a little bit clear. So we can see on the 8 hour, we had this nice break of structure, mitigation, second break of structure, and then price mitigated that supply, and we can see this major reaction to the downside. This is even following the fundamental analysis, the federal fund rates, which made the dollar weak. So we can see price actually wanting to come all the way to the downside. Now, the 4 hour previous low that I'm looking at is this one. So I actually did a breakdown. I think I did a breakdown last on the previous outlook. I was talking about UJ as well. So this is the one that I'm looking for. This is exactly what I was expecting, right? To see some good reaction at this supply zone. I didn't take any trade yet, but I'm looking to see if I can catch something on the lower time frame to continue that bearish push towards the 4 hour previous low, and then to tap that weekly demand zone that we have. So once price comes to the weekly, what I'm going to be waiting for is a daily change of character. So even to buy, I'm going to have to be very, very, very patient with UJ. Okay, so simple as that. So as up to now, we should just look for sales because the hourly is bearish, and try to take out this hourly previous low. Simple as that. So let's go to the last pair. So our last pair of today is the infamous gold. Shall we USD? I mean, gold has been trending all the way to the upside, guys. I mean, it's just been months after months. Price is just pushing all the way to the upside. And I mean, usually when you have news of, you know, the federal fund rates actually dropping the rate and making the dollar weaker, right? Which basically means that they have increased the supply of dollar to try to stimulate the economy, right? Just simple economy stuff. Usually a lot of people tend to look at gold as a safe haven. Usually it's a great hedge against inflation, because when you put more money in circulation, eventually it's going to lead to inflation. So that's why gold prices are just going all the way to the upside, right? So looking at that, when it comes to, we can see that we had this break mitigation, then the break of structure mitigation, and then break of structure all the way to the upside. Price just kept going up. So this will be the long-term demand zone that I'm looking to see if price is going to come. You know, this is the long term. Now, if I go, for example, to 4 hour time frame, or let me even use the 2 hours time frame, the demand zone that I'm looking at so far is this one, right? I want to see what's going to be the reaction in this area right here. So we can see that previously we had a break of structure, price then pulled back a little bit to mitigate another block, and then continue to push up. But I don't really believe this is a very strong order block, because we didn't really have a very strong solidified high and low, right? So if I go, for example, to M30 time frame, I can see that on the M30 we had a change of character basically, right? Because price was just pushing all the way up. So we had this structure high, we had this low. Price broke structure, so, and then it came down to this demand zone right here, which was responsible for the first break, right? So it came down to this demand zone, respected, and tried to push up. What happened? It started to struggle. We started to see the struggle right there for price to continue to push up to break the previous high. So this usually is a sign that the bullish strength is depleting right here. That's why it created this major change of character right here, right? So this usually, I was even looking for a sell during the week, but I didn't find anything right here. I wanted to actually ride the violation of this previous low right here, because I was seeing this struggle, price actually struggling to break the previous high. So then, boom, change of character, and then I'm looking at this supply zone for the next week. So once the market opens, I'm going to be looking what's going to be the reaction in this supply zone. If I see some good moves on the lower time frame, such as M3 or M1 time frame, I'm going to take a sell on gold, at least to target this previous low and this demand zone. Simple as that, guys. Simple. So I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown, guys. And if you guys are very interested in joining the mentorship and getting funded, getting payouts, I'm here to help you guys do that. So feel free to hit my contact. It's on the description box below, my Telegram. Feel free for any questions. I'm willing to answer anything. So my contact is on the description box below. We have a great discount also on the lifetime and yearly membership. So feel free to join, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Peace.